Human nature. We're living just 18 minutes outside of Detroit, Michigan, in the same suburb city where I came of age. Mind you, that's 18 minutes driving at 70 miles per hour on the highway, not a bike. For as long as I can remember, Detroit has always had this remarkable, paradoxical relationship between the great Midwestern metropolis it once was, with the steady but relentless presence of the landscape literally seeping through the city's rusty cracks. It's a modern living example of what the world would look like after 2 weeks without humans living on the planet. The grass grows, the other animals wander freely, and Mother Earth continues her errands for the next billion years. Today, I find myself squatting my parents' cozy home while they are away for a few months this winter. The house is only 5 minutes away from where I spent my first 18 years of breaking through the concrete. While it's been almost 10 years since living back in the US, it feels like nothing has changed around here, including myself. And that cracks me up, but has also cracked me open. Returning to my home, getting a sustained glimpse into where I've come from, looking at the indifferent pile of cardboard moving boxes with the words Melbourne written on top of the words Hong Kong, and trying to find comfort and answers in reconciling my life experiences with my life reality, I have unlearned something. We are human, and we are nature. We are human. We are the house that we receive, remodel, renovate, relocate, rent, relish, restore, and relinquish. Stare at humans, and watch now. Watch how we observe, reproduce, design, collect, assemble, build, reflect, protect, and rebuild. Out of infinite nothing, we bring infinite something manifested in our skin and bones, our dwellings, our relics, our symbols, and structures. What we build forms our beliefs. We are nature. We are the tree that grows down into the moist, dark soil of rock bottom while reaching her torso, spine, arms, elbows, hands, fingertips, and colorful lashes into the wind. Stare at nature and watch how her entire cycle of life seeks the light, seeks the water, seeks the air by any mediums necessary. She has no voice in her head, just a divine connection to that line that will break steel, crush concrete, and do whatever it takes to receive the light. How we grow forms our understanding. I look at the image of the tree growing through this building in Detroit that I posted. The tree already knows the answer because she is the answer. The building already knows the question because she is the question. We are in fact both. The construction of our human life harbors the indifferent seed of our natural life within. A seed that knows nothing else but to seek the light, seek the water, seek the air. I get like this about 10 minutes after my first sip of coffee and have slapped on my cans on my head with some cathartic tunes pouring into my ears. I'm also like this right now because the house I've constructed is getting her ass kicked right off her foundations by the tree growing inside of me right now. But in that ever slow, natural, invisible kind of way. Damn you, nature. I'm nowhere near rock bottom, but I'm experiencing some very challenging and confusing times right now. It's hard, it's slow, it's very slow, it's meaningful, and it's great. And I don't know what to do next. I'm sharing my observations because I'm in it right now and not trying to panic. I'm not trying to add on the image of this house, my identity, my beliefs, my addictions, my constructions to misdirect my nature growing up and growing through. Although that would be too easy and has worked in the past, always does. If you disagree with me, then explain why beer pong was invented. I write because I want to share the observations of my prototype compared with yours. The design of my walls are no match for my nature, and I can see yours too. In fact, you just being here in this group and reading this is your nature starting to poke her vine through a sliver to get out and allow others' nature into play. We already know the answer because we are the answers. The discomfort and anxiety we feel is our nature's way of saying, "Hello? Is there anybody out there? If you don't crack open the window and air me out, I'm gonna break through this motherfucking bitch, you hear? Hello? Do you hear that creak? That's the sound of you staying in that job you should have quit last year. Do you hear that crack? That's the sound of that phone call you should have made last year to say I love you to a friend who had just passed away. You hear that crumble? That's the sound of the conversation you need to have with your lover today about growing closer together tomorrow. Ready or not, I'm coming out. It can take a few years, but if you open the door now, we can flourish today. We can thrive together now. Hello? As humans and as nature, we will certainly continue to fumble through the rest of our life trying to decide what nourishes us more. An Instagram like, or a glass of water. We will listen to that chatter of the weather outside, or to the growing voice within. Imagine if we can shape our home to allow our nature to gracefully find her light. She will indeed break down some of our walls that were thin and meant to crumble, while in fact reinforce and strengthen the ones that were strong enough to keep.